everyone. Welcome back to the show. This is InDifference, a talk show with me. My name is Ike, and
my name is Dylan, and we are live in the studio after about
literally like 2 months off.
2 months of a hiatus.
Yeah.
And we have a very special show tonight. We are excited because our show is at a new time, same place, new time.
Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. instead of Mondays from like 8 to like whenever. Because it was like, we didn't really have a set time. But yeah, we are back. We just had to get a new time, new slot. So we're back, hopefully better than ever, to talk about great topics and kind of to shed some light on things that need to be talked about in our world today, as well as on campus. So we are very excited to continue this, like a second semester run of this show.
Yeah, and we have some awesome things planned for you guys ahead. We have a couple shows that we want to get onto the calendar. Ike has some information about a couple shows to look forward to and the dates specifically for those shows. But like Ike said, 7 to 9 at Whitworth.fm. And of course, you can always call in at 509-777-3278 for questions and call-ins. And yeah, we hope to use this radio station as a platform to talk about some very raw things and things that are affecting students on campus. And if you're listening and you feel like you're not a part of these groups that we're talking about, then hopefully this show is to educate and empower you as people to understand different groups, different minoritized areas on campus, and for you to be aware of those places.
Yeah.
So,
and also to listen to cool music while we're at it too, you know?
Yeah, that's like a huge part of this. You can also find us at the Whitworthian online under media. Our podcast is now up there, which is awesome. Shout out to the Whitworthian for doing that.
And Ian Busick.
Ian Busick, yep.
For putting us up on there. We appreciate it, fam.
And yeah, today specifically, we're going to be talking about this cool thing that happens on campus every year.
Yeah, well, for the last 3 years.
The last 3 years, yeah. And since actually 2015, it's done a lot of like evolving, and it's become really, really awesome and perfected in a lot of ways. The first time they did it, do you remember the first time? Yeah,
so this was back in 2015. It was really cool just to hear. I think they had 8 or 9 students just speak about their experiences, but their experiences were based on this one question that each diversity monologue has. And that first year, it was, what is community? And so students kind of like wrote like little snippets, like poems, stories, and just like cool things about their life, about what community meant to them. And it was really cool just to get like a different like color of people's stories. That was really cool to hear.
Yeah, I feel like when I first came to Whitworth, it's kind of cool to kind of have seen the history of Diversity Monologues, because like as I've evolved as a person too, I've become more and more aware of like different aspects of cultural identity, justice, and reconciliation, and racial tension on campus, and just more things that I didn't think I was like aware of. But it's been awesome to be a part of a school that and more specifically a department, that puts this thing on. It's all the work of David Garcia, DEI, and Hendrick Hall. A lot of it comes out of it. The funding comes out of it. And actually this year we have an incredible speaker/activist, also known as a raptivist, Aisha Fukushima, who is coming to be our keynote speaker this year. And it's funny too, because she's like not just a speaker, she's an artist, like a musician. So she incorporates a lot of her work through her incredible like musician skills. And we have a couple songs that we're going to play for you guys today. But before we do that, we have a very special guest in the studio. And her name is Hannah Howe. So give it up for Hannah Howe. I wish we had like an audience clap track or something.
Maybe we could like edit that in.
Yeah. Probably. Oh yeah. Just kidding. Oh yeah. For our live studio audience, give it up for Hannah Howe.
Oh y'all. First of all, huge thanks to Ike and Dill for inviting me to be on this show tonight and to talk to you all a little bit about the Diversity Monologues, which, if you're just tuning in, is an incredible event that elevates the stories of underrepresented students that are typically left out of mainstream media and literary canons. In just 5 minutes, 8 to 9 students every year get a chance to talk a little bit about their lives, really. And like they mentioned, Dill and Ike mentioned earlier, that question or their monologue revolves around a theme. So this year's theme is how do you find beauty? And to talk a little bit about how I chose to answer that question in my monologue, I am using the question that I've gotten constantly throughout the years, where are you from? Which used to be a pretty painful question, but has led to some beautiful truths, and that drives the message of my monologue. So I've come to find beauty in ethnic ambiguity, basically. I've had a lot of difficult conversations, and it's taken me most of my life to decide that being asked where I'm from can lead to a beautiful thing, which is that more and more people every day are realizing that whether you're white, black, or brown, speaking, I don't know, Arabic, Spanish, or French in Montana, Illinois, or Texas, you can reasonably assume that those people are Americans. So that's sort of the message. That's the core of my monologue, just that Americans look like everything, and I find beauty in that. So yes, I hope, if you're listening, I really hope that you get a chance to come to our monologue, the Diversity Monologues event on this coming Thursday from 7 to 9. And get a chance to hear what really brilliant and interesting people have to say.
Yeah, thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah. Yeah, Hannah's among 9 poet scholars, who will be performing at this year's Diversity Monologues. Along with Hannah, we have Jesse Lewis, Jaira Hammond, Kalani Padilla. I'll let you do the rest.
Yep. Then, so then we have Karen Subtafo, Lacey Nguyen, Melissa Osorio, Urbanson Darcy, and Utsal Shrestha.
Yeah. And so, anyway, give it up again for Hannah. Hannah's awesome. She's a senior at Whitworth and is amongst a great group of students that's going to be sharing a lot about who they are and their life with you guys on Thursday. So please come to that event. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a time afterwards to meet with
all the scholars.
All the scholars and Aisha.
Yeah.
And so, Hannah, really quickly, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so if you were to describe one thing about Whitworth that you would change, this is just always good to have on our show. What would you change and why?
Okay, well, this is kind of a setup, but I'm happy to answer this question. I would definitely continue to do the work that I think the Diversity Monologues as an event is doing, which is highlighting the stories and the voices of students who aren't typically heard from. So our campus, I think, has done some pretty good work. We've moved in the right direction when it comes to diversifying racially, ethnically, geographically, sexually the students on our campus. So that's great, but we obviously have work to do. And that's what I would change, of course, is continuing that diversity and moving towards that diversity and continuing to tell students from underrepresented backgrounds, we care about you, we value you, we're interested in you, and we are investing in your future the same way we're investing in everyone else's future. So I hope Whitworth keeps moving in that direction.
Yes. And promise me that when you are older and wealthier that you come back and give to specific things like that on Whitworth's campus.
Yes.
'Cause I will be doing the same if I make money.
Yeah, that's what, if you want
Lord
change
knows
to
if
happen.
I make money.
I mean, if you want change to happen here, I guess this new generation has to come up and actually give to specific things.
Yes.
And actually pressure and push for cool things to happen, like, a new ISC.
Seriously.
Or,
Yes.
better programs for first-year college students, for students of color on campus, to kind of navigate these historically white spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to our cousins at Gonzaga the president there, I don't know if you guys have caught the work that he's been doing right now. He is like starting, it's kind of crazy. He got like attention from the news and stuff. But the student body president over there basically is starting like a fund campaign, specifically like monetary funding for students, for underprivileged and underrepresented students on the Gonzaga campus. So like first generation college students, low income college students, or low income qualifying college students, and then also like underrepresented group and disenfranchised groups, which I think is like super awesome. Yeah. And so shout out Carlo, if you're listening. Cool. You're doing great work, man, and we support that, and we want to also learn from that too. So Whitworth administration, if you're listening, just here's a blueprint. Yes, follow what he's doing. Please. He's a senior in college, and he gets it. So, and he's getting a lot of support. He's getting a lot of support about it, which I think is awesome. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, but we're gonna listen to a quick song by Aisha Fukushima, who will be the artist in residence and keynote speaker for this year's Diversity Monologues. So this one is called Missing You, and it's really beautiful, and I hope that you can take this time to like really listen to it, and listen to the words and the meaning of it, and then we'll come back right when it's done. So thank you. All right, we're back in the studio. Thanks for listening to that song. She's gonna be here on campus.
It's crazy. And she's like a big deal too.
She is a very big deal.
It's really impressive that she's coming here.
Yeah, I heard from a little bird that another school near us tried to get her, and it costed like in the 5 digits, 5 digits. Huh. But we got her for like. Okay, I don't want to like reduce her to numbers, but like we got her for a lot cheaper because she loves Whitworth, and she's awesome. So, thank you so much for coming to Whitworth. Yeah. We are blessed by your presence. We don't deserve to have someone like you, honestly. But really quickly, I want to give a little bio. Me and Ike found some information about Aisha that we want to share with you guys. She is a singer, speaker, educator, and rap activist. And she founded the Raptivism movement, which is a global hip-hop project that spans nearly 20 countries and 4 continents, highlighting the ways culture can contribute to universal efforts for freedom and justice by challenging oppression with expression. And I want to pause there for a sec. That is like the mission also of the Diversity Monologues, is how do we challenge oppression with our expression. That's like a huge part of what the Diversity Monologues are on campus. In such a beautiful way. It's kind of like our mission statement too, in a way.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Because we use a lot of our like the music.
And kind of just like the culture and like what we talk about, and like, I guess how non-Whitworth we are to like kind of express like, at least in my opinion, like how the real world is out there. Like isn't just like one thing. There's like many different ways to express yourself out there,
Mm-hmm. And like story is so important to that too. She's also multilingual, multiracial, African American, Japanese. Woo, mixed race. Hey, the future. Her work is influenced by her global upbringing, with roots spanning from her birthplace of Seattle, Washington, to her other hometown of Yokohama, Japan.
Yeah.
So
cool. And so as the leader of the Raptivism project, she's done solidarity building work through hip hop from the United States and to France, Morocco, Japan, Germany, England, South Africa, Senegal, India, Denmark, and beyond. So her work has been featured by Oprah magazine. Just think about that. Oprah featured her, and we all know that Oprah is a big deal. Everyone loves Oprah. And then KQED Public Television, the Seattle Times, TV2M Morocco, the Bangalore Mirror, Hype, which is South Africa's #1 hip hop magazine, among other things. So just like by what I've said, this woman is a big deal. Like people have took notice of her activism and have like commended her for it. And then she's also been honored with the World Trust Love in Action Award for Global Hip Hop Leadership, as well as with a bunch of different U.S. State Department cultural grants awards, spanning from Belarus to Kazakhstan, Nepal, and Jerusalem.
Yeah, we don't deserve her.
Yeah.
We do not deserve you, but yes, the world is thankful for you. As a vocalist, Fukushima's musical sound consists of an unparalleled style blending soulful melodies, poetic lyricism, looping, and beatboxing. So actually in that last song, you'll notice the looping track. It's actually all her voice. So she sings different tones, and then she loops all that and layers it over one another. So it sounds a lot like a cappella in a way. But it's all coming from her, like she's doing it. And then on top of that, she's singing on top of it. So if you listen really quickly, I'm going to play a little snippet of that so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, it's looped. So if you listen to it really quick, carefully, you can hear it. So that's all her. Like, she does that all on her own, and it's just, I think that's like super, super creative, and also like great lyrics, like great those melodies that you can hear in there are like super powerful. I feel like
it gives the track more depth, and it's like it's just a lot easier to listen to, like with the bunch of different tones and melodies and the harmonies, you know. It's just really cool because that just gives insight to me that she's like a true artist.
She is.
And
she is.
And she isn't just like looping the same tracks and stuff, which is basically what pop music is, like the same 4 notes. You just loop those and whatever.
Katy Perry. Yeah. I agree. Like the fact that she like can do that and then also do beatboxing and poetry and like poetry out loud basically, along with rap, like, is just a very holistic trait of a good artist. And so she also released her Global Raptivism compilation album, which featured more than 20 leading political hip-hop acts from around the world, including Black Noise from South Africa, Positive Black Soul from Senegal, DJ Noise from Denmark. And she's also been featured on a number of albums, including Mad Lines, Mad Habits of 2012, Street Poet Inc.'s Origins of 2012, and Raskadi's Cloud Rider of 2011, and Emily YX.
I think it's like YX's?
YX's?
It's
like a question. Conscious Rhymes for Unconscious Times of 2010. Man, I was like not even walking at that point. She's been around for a long time. This woman is timeless. She's also shared the stage with the likes of Dead Prez, KRS-One, Africa, Bambata, Jasiri X, Boots Riley, Om, Amadou, and Miriam, and Ursula Rucker. So,
and she's also a public speaker, which means she also combines the art of performance and lecture. In her speeches, she links themes like hip-hop, global citizenship, empowerment, feminism, and cultural activism with live musical performance. And she was also the first non-native person to deliver a keynote address at Montana's 2012 Schools of Promise Conference for Indigenous Youth. And she has presented at diverse venues like Stanford University, the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity, People of Color in Independent Schools conferences, UMass Amherst, and TED Talks in Sitka, Whitman, UWCCR, Rock the School Bells, and Osaka University, among many other accomplishments.
Yeah, and she, over the last 8 years, her passion for empowering young people through the performing arts has led her to build educational programs such as Turn Off the Stereotypes, Whitman Institute of Summer Enrichment, and Sistars, an all-girls hip-hop club. She's also been honored with a number of prestigious fellowships from institutions such as Duke University's Ralph Bunche Institute of Summer Enrichment, Humanity in Action's European program from the Netherlands, and the Thomas J. Watson's Foundation. And then in 2014, World Trust named Fukushima their Love in Action awardee for global hip-hop leadership. On top of all of that, she also holds an honors degree in rhetoric and film studies from Whitman College in Walla Walla, with minors in French literature and gender studies. And like I said earlier, she's multilingual and fluent in French and is building proficiency in Japanese, Arabic, and Wolof.
Hey.
So, guys, we literally have. I don't. This is unbelievable. We don't deserve someone like this. Honestly, the world doesn't deserve someone like this.
Yeah, like the first time like David posted about her being the MC for this event, I like went to her website and I was like, this person is accomplished. I was
Yes.
like, what's like, just like, I don't know, she's just done a ton of things and it's really impressive.
Yeah,
Like,
she's not like the classic indie artist.
Yeah, that's like goals of what like I want to be. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be like proficient in a ton of stuff, you know, just furthering the cause, man. It's really impressive.
She's no Mumford and Sons, guys. Come on, Whitworth, wake up.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to also highlight just like how just like the traction that we've gotten as far as like the diversity monologue. So we used to do it actually in this like teaching hall called Robinson Teaching Theater, and the like lighting was like okay, the sound was okay, but it was all like student ran. Actually, as of this year, we've switched some things up. We've, like I said, evolved. We are now going to be in like our school's auditorium, which has like light components. So there'll be different lighting. There'll be different sound.
More seats.
Yes, and more seats, because last year, what happened last year?
So we had people kind of just sitting in like in the doorway looking down on everything. We also had people like sitting on the stairs, and yeah, it was really crowded, which is good. But in order to accommodate for the increase in people, they put it in Cal's auditorium, which will be really cool. It'll make it feel like, I don't know, like a bigger like statement, which is what this event is. It like deserves all of the, I don't know, big production, you know, budget and all that.
Yeah. It also like, I think it's awesome too, because it we like it's a community event too, so people come out from the community to listen in, which I think is really special, and it picks up a lot of traction between like also Whitworth staff and faculty, which I think is really cool, because those are students, like some of their students' stories, and like if teachers want to like, or professors want to like be engaged with their students and like actually know them, coming to this event is going to be one of those ways to do that. And actually, it's funny, they're actually doing like a staff and faculty breakfast or like workshop with Aisha, where staff and faculty can come.
That's really cool.
And so this is like a call to action, like staff and faculty of Whitworth University. If you are at all engaged with like wanting to understand different types of stories from like underrepresented, disenfranchised and minoritized groups on campus, if like you are at all interested, which you should be, because
you are teaching them.
It's yeah, and you're like also like it's just human dignity. So if you're at all interested in human dignity, come to these shows and like listen to these and like read the stories that are published in the publication. That's another thing. So Diversity Monologues every year publishes their yearly publication, and those actually get archived in the Whitworth Library, so students from future years can look back
and read about, you know, what students from the past have experienced here.
Totally. So it's like, I think that's like one of the best things too that we can look back on when we're older and be like, yes, we were part of a movement. So yeah, just a quick word on that really quick. The way that Diversity Monologues is going to be set up this year is same setup as like past years, where Aisha will perform. Actually, it's a little bit different, because Aisha's like an artist, so it is kind of like a concert slash show, incorporating the monologues but also incorporating music. So Aisha will come and have all of her stuff set up for looping and like doing some awesome beats for us, and then like Mama Beans is giving like a prayer monologue this year.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
dang.
yeah.
Budget increase for this.
Seriously.
Let's
Well,
go.
the budget. Okay, it's cool because the budget increased because we don't have to hire students to like run sound. Like Cal's Auditorium does that for us.
Yeah.
Which is thank you,
Yeah,
Cal's
yeah.
Auditorium.
Thanks.
And like people run lights and sound, and we're gonna have like different sound components this year. So like there's gonna be like birds and stuff, and like cool like different
That's
components
cool.
for each person's monologue. I hope. And then we were gonna do like scents, but then we're like,
This is like a 4D experience. Like what? Like the last movie I heard that did it was like that Spy Kids one.
Spy Kids. Were you scratch and sniff?
No, it was like in like the Time one or whatever. Like the fourth one that came out. Like yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think
spray
people,
water on
I
you.
don't think people tested well to that. So
Yeah, no, that was
yeah.
not a good experience for people. Yeah, so what's gonna happen is Aisha will perform, and then the first or two monologues will perform, and then there's a song in between each one, and then so that's kind of the setup for the night. But I'm really, really stoked about the changes that were made and like improvements that were made to it this year. And if you're in the Spokane area and you're listening, please come to this event. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because I would say just among the different events Whitworth University like puts on here, I would say Diversity Monologues along with the International Festival are kind of like the times where like me, a student of color, like feels the most proud to be on this campus. You know, since I see like my friends and other people who like look like me or have similar experiences to me express themselves in a space that really doesn't kind of give people like us the room to fully express ourselves. Like not to like badmouth like Whitworth or anything, but just in historically white spaces, like it's just hard to really express yourself and have like a crowd of people really be interested and just yeah,
and it's a chance where like you as a listener are participating by listening, because like a lot of these students don't share these stories just to share them, and there's going to be a call to action and a kind of movement towards action at this Diversity Monologues. That's kind of a part of the publication, and it'll be incorporated throughout the night, like different ways to like actually respond, which is awesome. And that's a little bit different too this year, is that if you come, you're making the first step of like participating and showing that you care enough to come and listen, because like these stories, like you're like, if you're a listener, you might not like immediately like like a lot of people come to events. I feel like a lot of like normal Whitworth students go to like cultural events to like take, but not to give. That's something that I've noticed.
It's like a thing where you come in, people feel good, and then nothing of true substance ever comes out of it. It's like, oh, here's I hate to use this word, but I just feel like people are like, oh, here's an exotic thing. That's dope.
Exactly.
Let's just go to that, and then like, I feel good about all these different exotic people different from my own culture, and then you just go back to doing your own things and participating in discrimination, oppression, like just all these things. So
and like this is a chance to come and like participate and give back as a listener. So we hope that you guys attend, and we hope that you guys get a chance to feel something. And if you're feeling things during this event, the best thing you can do afterwards is ask yourself, like, why did I feel these things? Why did I feel uncomfortable if somebody shared something about their life? Because I guarantee you that's not the purpose of why people are sharing their story. They're sharing their story for other people to be aware of like the experience that they've had.
So so we're just gonna have another music break, and then we're gonna come back, talk about a few things, and probably wrap up. So this next song is "God's Plan" by Drake. I think that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah, watch the music video too.
Oh yeah, the music video is really good. Should watch that. Hey, so that was "God's Plan" by Drake. We're gonna have a second song coming up for you from the Black Panther album, if you haven't listened to it, listen to it. It's one of the best like soundtrack albums based on a movie. Kendrick Lamar and his label Top Dog Entertainment created this thing, and got a lot of artists, a lot of African artists too, to be on this. So look it up; it's really good. The next song we're gonna play is called "Bloody Waters," from that album. It's a really good song, and just listen to the words. Yeah. We are back to Indifference, and that was the song Bloody Waters with Anderson .Paak, Absol, and James Blake. It's a really good song.
It is a great album, and if you can listen to it before the movie, not afterwards.
Yeah, but by now I feel like you should have seen this movie because it's already grossed $1 billion.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen this movie,
you are missing out.
Stupid.
And I mean, I'm not gonna. You know what? Yeah.
I am dumb. I'm bummed I haven't seen it yet still, so.
Oh, yeah.
Our class is going to go see it for
I'll have to fix that.
Media criticism.
Ooh, okay.
We talked about that today in class.
Nice.
Shout out Nicole Bagarash.
Yeah.
She's my professor, and we talked about that today, and I hope we decided to vote on going to see Black Panther, because if we want to, like, criticize the media for not doing things, I think Black Panther's a great movie to watch and see how it's kind of setting a trend for film. Because if you know the show 7 Seconds on Netflix stars an all black cast, which is awesome because it also talks about more in-depth issues. Shows like Blackish also are like becoming more prominent in our culture, which I think is really exciting. But yeah.
So we're kind of gonna wrap up here. We're going to talk about more of this show, and first I'm going to just lay out our schedule for the next couple of weeks. So March 22nd, the subject is about being a good ally, and then April 5th is going to be our Women of Color one. I think Hannah Howell will be our guest for that one. We're really excited to have her for a full show this time.
/ Sarah Dixit might also come.
Oh, yes. Plus other women of color that we asked to be on. Hopefully it'll be a really cool experience and a good conversation. And then April 12th, this is what Dale's excited for, the Mixed Race Dilemma. We'll have Hannah there, as well as probably some other mixed race individuals to give their perspectives and about identity, especially if you're mixed race.
Yeah, that's a show also that I think it's kind of creeping up on us, because we that's like, I mean, I can speak into being a mixed race person a little bit more than I can speak into just being fully Mexican or fully white.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to one of my housemates last night about this. Like, I always feel like I'm caught in so many different worlds where, like, I'm trying to prove myself to one group, but I've just said, screw it all. I don't need to prove myself to anyone, and real friends are the type of friends that will accept you as you are, not as you should be.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And then April 26th and May 3rd, we don't really have dates for. We have dates for that, but we don't have subjects for that yet. But on May 10th, it's going to be our call-in and question hour. It's going to be our farewell, I guess, tour. The culmination of everything that's happened since November. It'll be
so
a sad time. But I mean, you never know what could happen. People could take this over next year. Maybe we branch off, do this our own, make our own thing.
Yeah. If we need feedback too. So we're going to be posting these online at our website, indifference.wordpress.com.
Yes.
Indifferencepodcast.wordpress.com. So if you have any feedback, or you want to like look at past episodes, listen to former guests we had, please do that. We've had like a range of people, and we're also did you mention the being a good ally one?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Actually next week.
Oh yeah, next week. So next week we're gonna have a couple of majority students, which I'm actually really excited for, because it's majority students who like actually care about this stuff. So I'm hyped about that, because as a halfie and as a half white person, I am really excited that like my people on that side are also coming to the surface and kind of like relocating in a way in their own hearts about these sort of issues. So, and maybe Summertino might come out.
Yeah, she might come out.
Summertino, this is a call to action.
Yep.
If you do not come next week on Thursday.
Yeah. Also, okay, I don't know. You can get maybe Lacey and Hannah because I know because I know they've done a couple workshops to do that for this stuff. So hopefully, if they have time, they can come in for like 5 minutes, stop by, just like kind of break it down. I think that'd be dope. So y'all should come through. Sorry, Hannah, for having you 3 weeks in a row, probably.
Hannah, this is an appreciation post for Hannah Howe. By the way, guys, Hannah's not in the room right now, but shout out to this girl. She's speaking at Diversity Monologues, and she has to memorize a speech by Thursday. She's also speaking with me at graduation and has to memorize that speech as well.
Yes.
Just kidding. We don't have to memorize those.
Oh yeah, you don't. Yeah.
But
like
she's
podium or whatever.
She's incredible, and like people hire her for things. That is my cell for Hannah Howe. And if you don't know, graduation this year
now you know
is going to be 2 mixed race individuals. So, and they will be in the studio live 2 weeks from now.
That'd be cool.
So come on, give us a listen. And once again, thank you so much, people, for listening to our podcast. It's been a lovely time.
Yeah, it means a lot. Give us feedback too. We're also gonna try to, push this out more, get more ears listening to this, and just find more creative ways to get our show and what we're trying to do to the people. Because this means a lot to us, and thank you for people who do listen to us and support us.
Seriously, you're the reason why we do what we do. So if you ever want to call into 509-777-3278, one quick thing before we sign off. We're gonna sign off with one more song, maybe. Maybe we'll do an Aisha song, or no? Yeah, let's do an Aisha song.
Sure. Yeah.
Before we sign off, though, remember that Diversity Monologues are happening this week at 7 p.m. in the Coles Auditorium on Whitworth campus.
At Thursday.
What did I say?
Thursday.
Oh, on Thursday.
Like
yes.
At Thursday. On Thursday.
At Thursday. On Thursday at Coles Auditorium.
Yeah.
And I hope to see everyone on this campus there who's excited about this. And that'll be an open event to all students. First, I think 200 people get publications, so come early and get your publication. Yes. And we'll be excited to have you guys. So also, if you're like a former student at Whitworth, an alumni, you can come too. It's not just like closed off to Whitworth.
Yeah, this is like open to the public.
Yeah,
basically at this
and
point.
we want to get that Coles Auditorium filled to the brim.
I don't know how many seats this place holds, but it holds a lot more than what the 200 in Robinson Science Theater. And maybe it holds like 1,000. I don't know, but people just show up, listen to your peers if you're a student here, listen to different people if you're in the surrounding area in Spokane about their experiences and how those experiences are validated. And in our different experiences, we can come to answer one question in many different ways, which I think is a very important part of Diversity Monologues too.
And we haven't mentioned yet the theme. So the theme this year is how do you? Well, actually, Hannah mentioned it. Just kidding. But yeah, that is the question being asked this year: is how do you come to know beauty? And I'm just want to give a shout out to Aisha for basically embodying that with like the work that she does. And that's going to be so helpful for us to kind of have that MC for the night. Aisha's also the MC for the night, which is awesome. She'll be introducing the speakers, the student speakers, and then performing as well. So come to that. And so this next song is called Just Breathe, and it's kind of a mix of poetry / singing, and we hope that you enjoy it.
Yep. So we'll see y'all later. This is InDifference with me, Ike.
And Dylan.
Have a great night.
Adios, amigos.
Deuces.